Good evening. I'm Debbie, and we're keeping it simple this evening with Testa's Pantry. I have always wanted to make an aioli. I wasn't sure how to make it correctly or in the traditional manner. And I didn't want to do something with mayonnaise. Of course, I want to feature our extra virgin olive oil. And I found out that the true traditional method of making aioli is with garlic and extra virgin olive oil. And it's done in a mortar and pestle. However, it takes a little bit of time, and it takes a lot of, your hand has to constantly be moving in the mortar and pestle. But that's not simple. It's a lot of time, and I thought, well, we're going to try the cheater's way. It's still made with extra virgin olive oil, but it's not vegan because we're going to add an egg for emulsification. The egg will help it move along very quickly. So, the first thing you're going to start with is a jar and an immersion blender. If you don't have an immersion blender, you can use a regular blender. You just have to make sure that you have the top can come off so that you can very slowly drizzle your extra virgin olive oil in to get the thickness that you want. Okay, so we're going to get started. The first thing I'm going to do is put in, I have 2 cloves of minced garlic. And that goes in the jar first. Then we're going to put in a ½ teaspoon to start of salt. I use a little bit of kosher salt. Then we're going to add an egg. So just 1 egg. And then the entire aioli uses for this recipe uses 3/4 of a cup of extra virgin olive oil. Today I'm using our aoli blanca. I've tried it with our arbequina, I've tried it with the nocellara, and I've liked them both. I really liked it with the arbequina. We're going to try it with the aoli blanca today and see if the peppery essence of our aoli blanca, that's the single grove grown variety from Andalusia, Spain. We're going to see if this gives it a little bit of a different essence. So we put a drop in to start before we start the blender. Okay, so now we're going to start the immersion blender, and I'm just going to do it on low, and it might be a little difficult to hear me, but as I'm blending, I'm going to be pouring in little by little, drizzling the extra virgin olive oil. You do it very, very slowly. It takes a steady hand and a little bit of patience. But, the rewards, though, are wonderful. A good aioli can be dressed up with some herbs, with a little more salt, with some pepper. You can mix it with sriracha and chili and put it on a fish patty. You can mix it with some thyme and a little bit of pepper, or some basil and oregano, and spread it on chicken, or mix it in with your scrambled eggs. You can use it as a dip for your vegetables. Peter the other night was using it to dip celery and carrots in. It's just, it really is very versatile. And it's so easy to make. See, you can see, I think you should be able to see that. If I lift up my arm, you should be able to see how thick this is getting. And it's going to turn into very spreadable. So you can put it on a sandwich. Alright, so the oil has all been incorporated, all 3/4 of a cup of it. And I'm still keeping the immersion blender going. Now I'm taking a ½ of the lemon. Whoops. Taking a ½ of a lemon. I put it inside of this net bag so that the seeds won't come out into this. And I can't use my normal reamer because that is too wide and it won't fit here, and you need to keep the blender going. So I'm going to turn it back on again and squeeze my lemon juice in. The lemon juice cuts it and gives it a real nice brightness. And I think that is just about done. Now you can see how thick that is. It's absolutely delightful. I'm going to put some on a spreader so you can see what it's like. You can spread it. Look how thick that is. It's bright and yellow and pretty, and you can add, like I said, any number of herbs to it or flavorings or seasonings, whatever you want, and whatever works with the dish that you're creating. Enjoy, and we'll see you next week.